There's still a lot of talk about yesterday's developments involving charges filed against the 6 officers who handled Freddie Gray's arrest. So joining me now is Debbie Hines. She is a lawyer in D.C. and also the former prosecutor in Baltimore. Thank you so much for joining us this weekend on a Saturday night.
Yes.
Every Saturday. We do have some questions. You know,
Okay.
I think one of the biggest things right now is people talking about a conflict of interest with Mosby, the Baltimore City State's attorney. We heard her speak, and now the Fraternal Order of Police is coming out saying, you know, these charges were filed so fast after the medical examiner's report. Plus, she's got ties to Freddie Gray's family's lawyer, and also her husband is city councilman, right? So and they're trying to make the point that there could be a conflict of interest. Do you see that playing a role?
Not at all. I mean, I think that this is the most balanced prosecutor. I mean, not only was her dad, but her grandfather was a police officer.
Right.
And so she has that on her side. She lives in this community, so she knows what it's like to experience what the people are experiencing in West Baltimore. And you have to understand, Baltimore is really a small town. It's not like D.C. So basically, in the legal establishment, everybody knows everybody. I mean, I know the family's attorney.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
you kind of got that feeling
right.
when you're listening to them. Certainly, you know, there's been some talk about it, and she said in that speech that, you know, she didn't think there should be a special prosecutor.
No.
Yeah, okay. So the other question that I had. Depraved heart. Okay, so when you heard her going through all of the charges, there was this charge of depraved heart. I think it was second-degree murder, depraved heart. That was the most serious charge. Can you explain that for us?
That was interesting because I was not clear on even at first when I heard it, depraved heart. It's not a second-degree murder charge that's used that commonly. So what it basically means in this case is that Officer Goodson, who was the driver of the van, that his actions, his alleged actions, were such that they endangered. He knew what he was doing, and he recklessly and criminally endangered the life of Freddie Gray. And so what he's being factually charged with is that on 4 separate different occasions, he went back, he checked on Freddie Gray, he did nothing.
Right.
And so that's how it elevates it above involuntary manslaughter to the second degree. But no, he didn't physically do something.
It's sort of like you know you're doing something that could harm someone even though you're not.
That could endanger their life. That could endanger their life.
Okay. And then there's, of course, the 6 police officers. Now, they're all facing different charges. Would they be charged or tried together? Would there be separate trials, or what are we looking at going ahead here?
Well, we don't know yet. I mean, anytime they're co-defendants, it doesn't matter whether it's police officers or, you know, any other type of case. The defense can file motions to sever the trials. Obviously, some of the police officers who have been charged with lesser crimes, like the assault charges, they may not want to be charged with the driver of the van who's being charged with second-degree murder.
Right.
So that would be one of the reasons. But that's for down the line and for the defense to determine what motions they're going to file and for a judge to decide on it. But right now, they're all together.
Okay, so it's going to be sort of a process. I'm
Yes.
sure we'll be following all of this. And then the other thing, there's this separate investigation going on with the Justice Department. So how can that play into what's already, the charges that have already been filed?
Well, the Justice Department only is investigating for violations of civil rights. I mean, this is a case for second-degree murder under Prosecutor Mosby's case. Under the state case, it's for second-degree murder. The assault charge is false imprisonment. That has nothing to do with the Justice Department. What they're basically doing is basically a case for whether Freddie Gray's civil rights were violated, and if the facts as they're being alleged are so, one of the violations of his civil rights would be that he was illegally arrested.
Right. And
that's what they're
does hate
pursuing.
crime come into play?
I don't see a hate crime. Well, that would be something they would be investigating, but I think their easier burden is the fact if his civil rights were violated, if in fact he was illegally arrested and he wasn't even supposed to be arrested because the pocket knife was legal.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for clearing up some stuff for us there,
Thank
Debbie
you for having me
Hines.
on a Saturday.
Yes, appreciate it. We'll, of course, stay on top of all of this for you, but we're now going to head over to Matt.